Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to today's Friday morning update. What a week it has been. Let me know if you can hear me. Everything looks good on my end. Stream quality is also okay. If you, for some reason, do experience some buffering because YouTube's not getting enough, then just you can pause it for a second, for a minute or so, and then it will catch up. But it's looking okay on my end for now. And here we are again. Another week, another crazy week. And since these are weekly updates, then I figured let's just start on the weekly chart so we can see what happened this week. Obviously, this is what happened. Big green week. And we're going to dissect it just in a second. Just got to make sure that you guys can hear me. Victor comes online right when BTC is at a pivotal point. Yeah, I don't know what's going on these Fridays. Usually Fridays are supposed to be chill days, and there's always something interesting going on. Also something interesting going on today. All clear? Sehr gut. Then let's get going. So, here we are. Someone asked after the stream last week if I always keep my chart so simple and clean. And the answer is yes. I try to, when I start drawing a lot of stuff on them, I just try to delete everything again, or at least hide it, and get a fresh view. Yeah, basically just take everything off, go into a higher time frame, and just get an idea for where are we, what's been going on. And it's very easy to get lost in the current ranges, the daily range, or maybe even the range of the past few days. And I think it's always nice to have a big look at what the asset has been doing, and in this case Bitcoin. So we can see the January consolidation here, and now I suppose you could call this the February consolidation part. And where are we now? Well, basically that's the level that for me is most important at the moment. This last weekly resistance that was made mid-February, basically, that's the level that we're up against now. And this is the one that's going to decide everything pretty much. I mean, it can't be that simple. If we go into the daily time frame, we can already see that we did close the daily candle yesterday above it, but we are not holding it as it stands now. I wouldn't say we're majorly breaking down either on this time frame, so it's still okay to retrace a little bit. But in the end, since it's a weekly level, the final confirmation will be this Sunday when the week ends. Is the week going to close above or below it? If it closes above it and then retests it to continue up, that's a very, very bullish sign. And that would remind me a little bit of what happened here around the 38K-ish. We had a similar situation, and it was, what was this? This weekly here. Yeah, I think it was around here, wasn't it? But that was the new weekly back then. Or this one, maybe. Don't quite remember anymore. Maybe it wasn't a weekly level. Okay, forget the example then. But I should have looked at it before. But it was a similar situation, especially after that little pump. Oh wait, we're not on the weekly chart. That would be why. Yeah, there it is. See, I knew it. I knew there was something here. That's why. Just gotta make sure in the right time frame. So this is the weekly chart from back then. And that was a little January consolidation. We closed the week at the 1st of February week, closed it above the weekly, and the following week went down almost to the dollar, pretty much, of that weekly level, back tested it as support. So resistance flipped to support, and off we went. So this is something really, really bullish, and you know that your invalidation is gaining acceptance under the weekly level. Doesn't mean you have to have your stop loss exactly below the weekly, because as you can see, those stop losses did get taken out. So, tight stop losses are usually a bad idea. But, this is the kind of stuff you can monitor. Even if you see, okay, price is gaining acceptance below it, then obviously we're looking for lower. But if you have a nice backtest like this on the weekly time frame with a weekly level in play, then that's very powerful. So this is something that could theoretically happen here. If we close the week above, next week opens, backtest and go, that would be super bullish. Nice and simple. Don't really need anything else. Of course, it's nice to look at other things as well to back it up. But that would be the situation we're at right now. And last week, let's put it down to the daily time frame. Last week's update was here around the 5th of March. And I remember asking you on stream if you were willing to buy Bitcoin at 58K, last time we were making the all-time highs in this euphoric pushy phase here and this huge deviation in the end of that range. Why are you not willing to buy at 46K? So now I can ask you the same question the other way around. If you were willing to sell Bitcoin down here at the lows because you were convinced that we were going to 32K or whatever, why are you not willing to sell it up here? And well, now we're going to have a look at why the selling up here, in a sense, is simple or perhaps with a very easy invalidation, because you know that your all-time high is here. Yeah. So if we take the all-time highs, we have two options. Either it's a swing failure pattern and we crash back down, or we squeeze all of the people that are trying to short right now and just explode upwards, kind of like we did around 38K. Once we backtested that weekly, I'm sure there were still a lot of people shorting, and then we just blew right through that. So that's what can also happen. So in a sense, it's short with a very easy invalidation because it's right above these highs. So you know where you're wrong. And then you can observe what happens. Do we get an SFP or not? And if you're not sure what a swing failure pattern is, just watch Mike's stream from this Wednesday. He explained it again. It's a very hot topic, and it's also a very nice setup to get very cool entries. But you have to be at the PC, basically. Not good for presetting. And on the other hand, you could say that this short is very risky because of the momentum, because of the way we've come up here. So we got our all-time high here. I'm just going to turn on the range that we had been looking at since basically the beginning of last month. This is the beginning of February. So after that explosion from 38K, just taking fixed ranged volume from then until now, we still have our POC at that middle daily around 48K-ish. We have our value area high has moved up a little bit, and we've got this daily level that we were looking at as part of the range. So this is basically the range. And if you pull a fib from down here to up here, you've got your CC at what now is a weekly level down there. We used a daily level that's a bit lower as a reference, but now there's a weekly which is a bit stronger, so I swapped it to that. But in any case, very, very nice support here at the low of this range, POC, and upper range, so approximately, okay? So now, where are we? We're outside of that. Yeah, we've broken away from that. We haven't really backtested this daily. We just kind of took off and never looked back. That's fine. And this value area low, as you can see, was also resistant for a little bit, not even much time. It did have a bit of a mini retracement, but yeah, don't even see it as that important. But in any case, now we're building here a high volume node right below this last resistance. So obviously there's a nice fist fight going on up here. A lot of people shorting and a lot of people longing. And how do we know this? Well, that's where we can jump over to ExoCharts, where we have another nice setup going on today. And this is what I wanted to mention about the way we've gotten up here. The way we've gotten up here, let's see if we find the 5th of March, 6th of March, 5th of March. So this was last week, Friday, yeah? And now you see, market structure-wise, we've been making higher lows, higher low, higher low, higher low, okay? And on the CVD line here, you see that it gets negative and more negative. Here there wasn't, it's already a divergence because this is a much higher low. And yet the CVD line was barely, almost the same pretty much. So that's already bullish divergence. But I mean, it gets even crazier. Let's zoom in a bit so we can see it better. Compare this low on the 8th of March, 9 a.m., at least my time, to this low here. Yeah, even more bullish divergence. Next dip, people getting insanely aggressive again, even more bullish divergence. And now you can see that the selling pressure continues. So very, very aggressive selling here. You could say, okay, you know, whoever shorted 58K at that weekly can be a happy camper now because we're below it. Yeah, but you have to keep in mind that you're going against the trend. And the trend right now is up again. It's a very impulsive and powerful move up that's been, let's turn on the rect. You can see how much blood there has been. Yeah, all these red dots are just the shorts getting wrecked. sorry, longs getting wrecked, and the green are the shorts getting wrecked. So there's been a lot of infliction of pain on the way up. Yeah. So wreck shorts up here. Oh, I remember this from a Daniels room. Yeah. So that's the move that we were waiting for. Yeah. So liquidate people up, liquidate people down, create bullish divergences, and go up at it again. Yeah. That's what's been happening until now. Every aggressive selling of the lows has been severely punished. So if you do want to sell, at least try to do it as high as possible and not on a retrace like that. Yeah, that's the general idea. That's the general gist of it. And right now for today, so we know, okay, we've been climbing. That's what I wanted to say. Let's hide this for a second. The climb up here has been on bullish market structure, making higher lows. No deep retracement so far. And every time we've dipped, we've built up bullish divergences, okay? And now we find ourselves here with a daily open almost at that weekly, 57.8. And it's outside of the value area, of yesterday's value area. And we are, let's see, if by definition, we do it with the 30 minutes. Let's swap over to the 30 minutes. So we have, so we've spent enough time in here to say that the CCV value is now active. CCV setup, so chart champions value setup. That means daily open outside of yesterday's value area. And all we're doing is we're not saying we're bullish or bearish or going to the moon or going to 3K, none of that. It's just for an intraday trade setup. We're simply saying from the previous day value area high, we expect a rotation to the previous day value area low, which would be around 55K-ish. That's all this setup is saying. So as it stands, it's a valid setup now. So basically you would short here at the previous day value area high and aim for the lows, right? Nice and simple. And you take profits along the way, of course. And why do you have to take profits along the way? Because that's what you should be doing anyway. You never know when there's going to be a change in direction because of one trader in the world that just decides he feels like it. You have to keep that in mind and always pay yourself. Point of control, always nice. And then you try to find on the chart if there's a daily level on the way or some other POC or value area, anything, or VWAP, anything that can be a useful take profit or an area of interest. You can use it as a take profit. Yeah, that depends on your personal strategy. But in any case, what I wanted to say, yes, the value is the CCV setup is active now, but keep in mind that we have been moving up here based on very heavy bullish divergences every time we did back. So I suppose ideally, in a perfect world, we would expect a dip down to here. London opens in about 15 minutes. Yeah, London opens in 15 minutes. So I would like this to happen preferably during London and New York session, with more volume present. That would be fantastic. But ideally, we could get a dip here with people getting super, super bearish and convinced that we're going to drop further down, not take these lows and accumulate huge bullish divergences yet again for a bounce back up. That would be nice. But, what I wish for or what I think is nice doesn't mean anything. You have to react to what the chart is doing. And as it stands right now, you've got this intraday setup to short from here to the lows. And if you've missed that, that's okay, because you can just pay attention, set yourself an alert at 55K-ish, for example, and see what happens if we do reach these lows, because that could be a place where we can maybe flip long, right? Also keep in mind that our bigger support, here the volume gets a bit thinner on this area, the 55K area. There is a bit of there is some volume here, but you can see that right now where we are now is a nice volume node. And the next bigger one is down at this daily at 51K, and then we go back to our old range. So this value area high should hold, yeah, but there's a bit of a kind of an empty space here, yeah. Very impulsive up here on the 20th of February. The pullback, these were very quick and swift moves that did not allow for much buildup of support. Here we had a little bit of filling up that sort of empty area, so that's nice, yeah, and just rejecting off the weekly, bouncing off back here. I think the VWAP was around there at that point, wasn't it? No, it was a bit deeper than that. Yeah, it went a bit deeper than that. Probably just a local CC. Don't remember this exactly. Yeah, there you go. So just a CC retracement. Yeah. So that's what we have on right now. If you look at it much more locally, just go down a bit on the time frames. We are below the VWAP, and we have at 57K. I think we have daily, monthly. Do I have a template open for that? Daily, monthly. No, I think I closed it again. Sorry. Daily point of control, monthly point of control, weekly point of control. There's a lot of point of controls here. Is it also the previous day point of control? Maybe. Yeah. Also, Jesus. Okay, so definitely this 57K, your VWAP, if you want to simplify it, your VWAP is now major resistance. And it's basically going to be up to London and New York to decide if this resistance holds and we just keep, retracing our way down, or if we can actually claim it. And as you can see, the weekly is next, which, by the way, we back tested perfectly to the dollar. Look at that. So this was probably after, it's already in today's candle. So that's basically the clear plan right now. You've got your VWAP and your weekly as major resistance. That's how, as it stands right now. So would I long here? Me personally? Well, no. Just the same way I was more comfortable here considering longs at these lows where people were getting bearish like a week ago. I had spent a week before on 1x shorts because I didn't have time to trade, and here I closed my 1x shorts. And just let them ride in spot all the way up. So I didn't even get into a leverage trade. But on the way up, I did partially start hedging myself. So not a complete 1x short. Now it is complete. But on the way up, I just kind of locked in the spot profits basically. And I'm collecting funding right now. And you'll be like, yeah, but what are you doing that? Well, I mean, I have 0% risk. I'm getting funding every 8 hours, which is very juicy for the shorts when we get to these extreme points. And I just realize, or I admit, that we are at an extreme point in the chart. What happens next? I don't know. I'm not going to decide that. I'm not the dynamic trader that's going to start it all. But for me, it's very clear. Show me that you got the strength to claim this weekly, close the week above it, have a nice back test the next week, like at 38K. I would like to see something like that, and take the all-time highs with conviction. Today is Friday, however, so I don't want to see that on the weekend. I want to see that during the week with the big market movers active. So for me, it would be personally okay to chill this weekend and let some people get liquidated. Take the stop losses down. I mean, there's some juicy stop losses down here for sure, or here. Doesn't really matter. I know where my we know where our supports are, how deep we can go. Hey, if for me, it would also be okay to fake out to the downside over the weekend, backtest the daily, and then come back up. That would be fine for me. You can just start speculating on what's going to happen, and it doesn't really matter. As it stands now, we are at resistance. Are we consolidating to then break out to trap shorts? Maybe. But the shorts have an easy job. Yeah, it's risky because you're going against the market structure, but the invalidation is very clear. So the longs are the ones that are in a bad place if you start a long right now, because where's your invalidation? It's a bit difficult then, huh? So enough Bitcoin for a second. Let's swap over to Ethereum. Well, look at that. It did have an nice pump, and now we're right back at that support level. Bitcoin performing better. So if you didn't look at Ethereum all week, you didn't really miss much. That's how much time we can spend on that and jump over to the next one, which is much more interesting. That's the stock market bounce we had this week. How about them apples? So weekly chart again. Yeah, nice big green bounce. And look at that. We are rejecting of that last weekly level resistance. Isn't that funny? Did we not see that just somewhere else? Yes, exactly, on Bitcoin. So these two are super coupled right now. It's kind of crazy. And as you can see, we had not doing much level-wise. I'm just, this is more for orientation, just to see, I got the same levels as always. One fib pool showing me this retracement to the 786. The daily candles closing at the CC, and up we go again. So we had a very nice recovery. That was 5%. That's crazy. And now we are, under resistance, consolidating, call it whatever you want. But basically doing exactly the same as Bitcoin. Let me just switch this. and see. I think Nvidia had a very nice bounce. Yeah, look at this. So we had to move the fib pool back a little bit. If you want to see this as Nvidia's range for now, we had a deviation outside, made new all-time highs, fell back into the range, back test the top, and went straight to the bottom. Yeah, so a very impulsive, dramatic move to the bottom of the range, but still range bound as it stands. Yeah, and we've been in here since August 2020. And with this fib pool, you can see that you can line up the CC with a weekly, and we had a very nice bounce. Yeah, rejecting off this little weekly here yesterday. Stock market's closed right now in New York, but we'll see tonight what happens, or this afternoon what happens. And you can, you can just replicate basically the same. Amazon also pretty much range bound and just hit the bottom of the range. Did we SFP the lows as well? I think we did, and I think Nvidia did too. I'm just gonna, no, we didn't. We didn't take these lows. Yeah, just those, but not the other ones. Ah, that's a shame. Would have been nice, but I think Nvidia did. Yeah. So we took out, if anybody had their stop loss right below there, and this kind of mini gap region, just took that out and bounced immediately. So you can see this happens not just in crypto. Oh, Tesla didn't quite make it to that CC monthly retracement. Oh man, look at that. What a front run. Yeah, so this is also an example of why, if you're interested in participating in a very impulsive asset, that perhaps that level that you're looking for is not gonna hit, and you can ladder in a bit earlier. In this case, somebody stepped in again, but yeah, maybe we do get a retracement to the monthly. That would be maybe we still do get it. We'll see. And that would be a very nice resistance support flip also here. That would be pretty sweet. Let's see. Now you can see that it just kind of looks the same everywhere. This one, I've got it on the Twilio, I've got on the speed fan 382 plus a CC from this big pool, plus a weekly level. Very nice confluence, and that's where we got our bounce off. It's even claimed the next weekly up here. I need to draw some levels up here, update this chart a bit. And as it stands now, okay, we got the 2.5 of the FIB speed fan as resistance, but holding above this weekly, huh? Not bad at all. Airbnb went quite deep on this retracement, but wow, very, very nice bounce as well. Look at that. 21%. Woo! And back above this this weekly. Let's just have a look to see if there's no monthlies, of course, but this would be okay. So rejecting off of that weekly at 200, and the last one would be at 216. Okay, so very nice bounce as well. Yeah. So the individual stocks having a nice bounce as well. That fits the recovery we saw in the stock market, but now we're at the basically last stand resistance. Yeah, so this is the last stand for the bears, if you want to call it that way. Similar to what Bitcoin is doing, yeah, fighting against that light last weekly. Very strong momentum upward, so be careful with shorting. Oh, and this is the sweet one. This is the sweet one. Oh, look at this. Oh, look at this. Let's turn off some stuff. Let's turn on the time for now. And the speed fan, since we're so far below it. So just the yearly and the FIB pool from down here, 17th of March 2020 to up here, 10th of August 2020. Look at that. Where did we just retrace to? What a confluence. Look at that. Let's zoom it in. Do you see this? This is a $7 trillion market. It retraces to the CC and yearly level to the dollar. Crazy. It's crazy. That's technical analysis for you, huh? It can be that powerful. How crazy is that? That is just amazing. But time-wise, I'm still interested in what happens for the rest of the month, the rest of March. So we are almost at half, 12th of March, yeah. What happens at the beginning of April? That would be nice. I mean, I can imagine like hanging around here, maybe even, yeah, taking out. Wow, that was such a perfect bounce. You know, we can leave it like that, so we don't need to dip again. It's so beautiful as it is already. We can just start making our way back up. But the question if that's enough, or there's going to be another fake out to the downside and then up, or we just kind of range around here, we'll see. We'll see if this fit plan pull is helpful or not. But super bounce. Let's compare it to the dollar. I did DXY. Got to that yearly level, and you can line it up with that fib pull right there. If you call this the impulsive move down, basically, yeah, push up, impulsive move down. It's also a nice CC retracement. So hit the took a peak right above the yearly, hit the CC, and rejected. And now it's had a very nice. How much percent was this? 1% rejection, and now bouncing back a bit. So as you can see, the family is doing it together pretty much. Yeah, SPX recovering with a nice bounce, Bitcoin recovering with a nice bounce, gold recovering with a nice bounce, and the dollar dumped for that bounce. If today the dollar pumps again or has a bit of a relief bounce here after this pullback, then you can expect the others to have a bit of a retracement day if it continues to stay as coupled as it has been, or in sync as it has been. Nothing is guaranteed. Everything can break down or separate itself and do its own thing. That's also possible. But as you can see, this has been in sync this week quite nicely, quite nicely. So that's where we're at right now. That's what's going on. So if you're not sure what you want to do, you don't need to do anything. That's the beauty of it. You can just wait for a proper breakdown. You can wait for a change of market structure. I mean, if right now we're doing this, then it's bullish. And if you start seeing something like this, where you start making lower lows, lower highs and lower lows, then you've got your change in market structure. Yeah. If you're kind of day trading, of course, you can do it on 5 minute, 15 minute and react faster. And if you're looking more for swing trade possibilities, well, swing trade here for a short, it's kind of risky because we've got so much momentum coming up and I don't see a proper breakdown. And every time we've did back, we've got bullish divergences. So very high buying interest and absorption going on. So in that sense, it's risky. On the other hand, it's very easy in validation too. So if you're unsure, you could, like I'm doing right now, sitting in a 1x short and just waiting. I'm just going to wait it out. And if I don't see anything spectacular happening today, then I'll just chill like that for the weekend probably and see what happens next week. I mean, I think March, April are going to be very interesting months anyway. So there's a fantastic move waiting around the corner. If we break down massively over the weekend, so what? My capital's protected. And if we do take the highs over the weekend, I don't want to see that. I don't want to take the highs on the weekend. I'd rather take them during the week. I'll be very, very cautious of that and react quickly. So that's enough of me talking. Let's see what you guys are up to. Let me pop out that chat for a second. Where did it go? 1 second, guys. Here. Okay. I'm going to try to make it a bit bigger. There we go. So, good morning. Long or short this weekend? 1x, baby. 1x is great, man. You get funding. Ain't no rest for the weekend until you close your eyes for good. Yeah. I know trading can be very exciting and keep you awake for many, many hours. But you will start losing your cognitive faculties, so basically your brain will start suffering under that, and you're not going to be able to catch perhaps the next best trade. So it is important to get rest and to reset yourself. The weekend is a nice time to do it because usually there's less stuff going on and low volume environments. So get some sleep. Good morning. Guten Morgen. Everything's good. Welcome, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Will we see another SFP of the all-time high during the stream just like last week? Well, apparently not. Oh, I was having a private lesson last night, and we came up with this pretty cool speed fan here. I'll show it to you guys. I hope he doesn't mind. So we pulled it from this low on the 21st of January to the all-time high. I'm going to just remove that line. It's a bit ugly. And Yeah, look at that. Perfect retracement to the 618 on that speed fan. How cool is that? It's just crazy how these speed fans. I mean, you can just try out different pulls. Try to find significant lows and significant highs on higher time frame, like daily chart or something, and then zoom in and see if how it's being respected. And I know there's also a pitchfork a pull around here as well. But look at that respect of that fib speed fan, huh? Hitting here, crossing with a weekly. So very nice confluence. I mean, the first touch is a nice idea for a short. Second touch, I would be more careful. So we went up a bit higher. But yeah, pretty cool respect on that speed fan as well. Let's see. Oh yeah, SFP of the Hydra in the stream. Yeah, it doesn't seem it's gonna be like that way. Is Victor a medical doctor? Yes, I am. Guten Morgen. I'm not as well. I guess I used to be a surgeon. Now I'm in general medicine. I don't do surgery anymore. And a wizard. He's because he used to manage his risk as a surgeon. Yeah, exactly. You have to manage your risk. Love from India. Thank you. Yes, I'm doing great. Hope you guys are doing very well. Whoops, very well too. Morning. Would you short here? Well, like I said before, shorts are risky in the sense that we have a very strong upwards momentum. For scalps, it's fine. Absolutely fine. Yes. Just make sure you take profits quickly because you're swimming against the trend as it stands right now. Yeah. Your Tesla fib was probably lower than the fib that hit. Yeah. Of course, you have to try different pools. That's the one that I had just set up, and then I didn't look at it for a few days. But yeah, definitely always try different pools to see what fits best and try to find confluence with it. There's no perfect pool or do it like this, do it like that. You just got to use these tools to your own liking, pretty much. Of course, making sensible pulls. I mean, not just pulls that make no sense, of course, but try different ones. Try different ones and see what fits best. And where you find the most confluence, that's where you have your high probability trades. I was following the golden dollar trust about. Yeah, it was crazy, man. When I saw it hit this week, it was so cool. When was it exactly? Was it on the 8th? Was it Monday already? Yeah, on Monday. Oh, wow. Yeah, on Monday. Right? We started like getting close at the end of last week, and then we finally dipped down to that yearly. I mean, when you see this in such huge markets, it's just amazing. And you realize that, you can use all of this on any market, not just Bitcoin. That's the cool stuff. Is the 1x short concept explained somewhere? I love you, by the way. Yeah, 1x short is the same as a hedge. So basically what you do is, for example, on Bybit, you go into your account. We did explain it on a stream. It was on a stream that I did with Mike as well. I need to find it. I don't remember which one it was. It was a while back. But one of the first things we covered, it was just like a general frequently asked questions stream. And we were asking or covering things like that. And the first thing we explained was a 1x short. You basically go into your account. You need to have no trades open. And this is only for the BTC USD inverse perpetual. That means it's not for the Tether pair. You don't need a 1x short on a Tether pair. If you're sitting in Tether, you're already hedged. You don't have any Bitcoin. So this is just to protect your Bitcoin without having to sell it or exchange it into something else. And then what you do is you put your leverage at 1x. Leverage has to be isolated 1x. And then Bybit has that little percent, those little percent buttons under the quantity box where you input your trades and you hit 100 and it'll give you the number. Let's say you have a $10,000 account. It should show you the equivalent in USD. So around 10,000 for your account for the position size. So you're entering a short that's as big as your account is in USD. And once you enter that, it doesn't matter if limit or market, your USD value is blocked. So if Bitcoin goes up, you will lose Bitcoin, but you will not use USD. And if Bitcoin goes down, you will gain Bitcoin, but you will not gain USD. It just stays exactly the same. And you just cash in the funding, which is very well for shorts at the moment, at zero risk, basically. Unless you are someone who says, I don't care about my USD value, I'm trading on BTC, then you're going you have the possibility of losing Bitcoin if it just explodes up while you're not monitoring the trade. So that's for me. I'm focused on USD value, so it's fine. How are you not scared to do a 1x short account? Because there's zero risk. There's zero USD risk. My capital is protected, and I get paid funding every 8 hours. So I can guarantee that if I enter a 1x short today, right now, and don't touch the charts all weekend or my accounts, when I come back on Monday, I will have the same money and a little more from funding. And if Bitcoin shoots up to 100K over the weekend, then I will have a lot less Bitcoin, but I will still have the same USD value. Dear Victor, can you quickly show how to find value very high, very low? Well, there's different ways, but what I was showing here was the fixed range tool. So basically what you do is you find a range that is relevant. Let's say, or let's move it up a bit higher. Okay, maybe that's too much. Let's say you're interested. I mean, you kind of can see it like this. That's why I like looking at the chart clean. Yeah, there was a breakup from this lower area, and now we've entered a new area. This is our new range. Yeah, this is our new playground, basically, you can say. And now you want to see with the fixed range tool here and indicators, fixed range, you want to see what the volume is in here. So you can approximate it by saying, okay, from the time we entered, let's say this candle, we were inside, you just pull that time. So it's about time. Yeah, I can click it up or down. It doesn't matter. To now. Yeah, so I go all the way to the right, and this is as far as I can go. And then it shows me a point of control for this area with a value area high and a value area low. That's a simple or a quick way of doing it on TradingView to orientate yourself. Or you do it with on Exo charts. It's a bit more precise, I guess. But Friday streams are the best. Thank you. What do you mean there's a silver chart? Well, maybe I could have a look next week because the update's getting a bit long today. I haven't looked at silver in a while, but I think, I don't think I have any TA on it at the moment. Let me see. Oh, wow, this is so old. I haven't touched it in ages, but it looks a bit better than gold, huh? The retracement wasn't as deep. It's been holding this range better. And yeah, I haven't done any TA on silver for a long time. What was this? So I just put on some yearly levels there, it seems, and the 0.5 fib from this all-time high to this low. And that's the resistance that we rejected off on the 1st of March. Great. Yeah, I guess you could sum it up like that. Take this area and you've got a lot of upside potential, and otherwise, seems like we're holding these lows. Yeah, I need to do some TA on this to actually say something that makes sense. Are you striking from your strike? No. I love Victor's live stream for entertaining. You're very welcome, very welcome. We will that similar. Can you please explain one short? Yeah, explained. Should we test just from a major? Jesus, you don't need to caps. Yeah, if you set your stop losses very close to where other people, or to significant levels where other people will have them, it will probably get hit. Yeah, it's a bit tricky to set tight stop losses. No, I also monitor other stocks, but these are the ones I've been giving the examples on for the updates. Yeah, but you can look at any stock, monitor all the stocks. The TA works for everything. Part minute from 30 and they're very, very good to realize. Trading on the weekend is bad because, well, it's not bad, but for me, it is because the volume is a lot lower. So ExoCharts is less accurate in that sense. And it's easier to move the market up and down because there's just less participants, less big participants. So it's easier to just manipulate the price up and back down, and it gets a bit choppier. Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't trade. Of course you can. You can still use the same TA and everything. But it's a bit, yeah, it's a bit trickier. So you should be careful. So I wanted to show you something else that Tom sent me. Tom Jones, where did I open that? Maybe just to wrap it up. Here. So I hope you can see this. Can you see that? Yeah, you can see it. So yeah, this is also a nice thing to maybe wrap it up with. Basically, Tom, so somebody saying, I feel like we can, like this and that can happen in the chart. And then that person that wrote it said, "Oh, did I say it feels?" and deleted the message. So basically, your feelings don't really matter. What matter are the probabilities, and that's the point of this message here. In trading, there are no certainties, only probabilities. Trading is not about feelings; it's about TA and using the tools that you're learning here at Chart Champions, and that Daniel is teaching as well. And you just stick to what you see on the chart. If you have a CCV set up in front of you, then you know, okay, I have a high probability of having a nice short opportunity since we're coming from the top, shorting the top and heading for the bottom. That's it. Just keep it nice and clean. And then see what happens at the bottom. Whether you feel we should get a bounce or not at the previous day value area low, doesn't matter. Just actually look at what's happening when we get there. Do we have massive bullish divergences? Do we see absorption and people, big buyers stepping in with limit orders and absorbing the aggressive selling? Then that would be a nice condition for a long. But you don't need to feel or not feel it. There is, at some point, you do develop a bit of maybe a sixth sense of what the other market participants might be doing. But this is a very personal thing that comes with time. And you, at some points, you will start fading some moves, expecting everyone else to, trade the breakout. Well, okay, then you short it. But I mean, that comes with time. I wouldn't call that exactly feeling. So maybe kind of like a sixth sense. Yeah. But for the beginning, stick to the TA and forget your feelings. They're not going to help you for now. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up, guys, because it's been 45 minutes and I don't want to take up too much of your time. Many thanks, Striker for Life. many thanks for tuning in. It's always great to talk to you guys or to give you this update. And I'm glad it helps a lot of you. And I wish you a very nice trading Friday and a nice weekend as well. Remember to do something outside of your house if possible and get some fresh air. It does help reset your mind. And if there's any other questions, I can also take them on Discord. So don't be sad if I missed it here. I can also reply on Discord. So do the opposite when you have feeling. Yeah, it's... you have to try to guess what the feelings of the masses will be or of most people and see if maybe it's a good idea to counter that. But that's more advanced, I suppose. So have a nice day, guys. And